Hey everybody, welcome to another Age of Grogu, and I've got with me Elijah today. Max is working, and Jason's got family stuff, so it's just the two of us. It won't be a terribly long one, but how you doing,
That's
Elijah?
cool. I'm doing all
Yeah,
right.
yep, that's cool.
Doing all right.
Any cool new things you've seen or watched in the last week or so? Has it been pretty quiet?
Um,
Or...
um, you know, no.
Okay, fair
I,
enough.
I had canceled all my services, but
Okay,
I just got HBO Max
okay,
again because now I'm paying a really
right,
discounted price. So at least I
yeah,
got that.
yeah,
But I can't think of anything brand new that I haven't, like a
mm-hmm,
new series that I
fair
caught up
enough.
with.
I'm
Um, so
Yeah. I'm currently sitting on episode 4, or is it episode 5 now? No, I think it's episode 4 of One Piece, the show that Jason told us about, the live action Netflix of a animated
yeah, are you
anime.
liking that?
I'm actually really surprisingly enjoying it. It is very, as Jason doesn't like the word whimsical, but it is a very whimsical series. But I actually have really enjoyed it. It's actually kind of got emotional in some of the scenes. It
Huh.
surprised me. I've really resonated and connected with some of the characters already, and it's like, okay, this is kind of
Yeah, I guess I'll need to
interesting.
take a look at it and go get a couple episodes
Yeah,
through and see if I
yeah.
feel I should
No,
continue watching that.
yeah, it's no, it's actually it's growing on me very quickly, and it's rare that a new show that is especially anime related, kind of connects. I kind of resonate with it really quickly, and I'm just like, oh
Right.
wow, it's definitely worth the look. I can understand the hype behind it. And it's a pirate series. It's kind of like it's kind of silly and fun and serious and emotional. The cast are really great that they've been bringing in. They're introducing new characters every episode, and building up this slow burning team of, well, not slow burning, but fast burning team of characters, which obviously going to play throughout the series. I'm going to assume these characters all play in the animation
Hmm.
as well. But it's fun. So if you get the chance, check out One Piece. It's worth the watch. That's about it. I've been working all week, so it's been kind of quiet, watching other stuff, except for Ahsoka. Now, the one thing we discovered this week when we went to do our group watch of Ahsoka is that Disney have taken off group watch. You can't group watch anything anymore.
Yeah, that just seems. Why would they? Why would they
Yeah.
even? If they offered it before they
Hey,
could see the
Chris, how's it
advantage
going?
of it, it's
Yeah.
strange that they did take it off. It seems like something that people liked and you used a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe they don't like the way it's being used. Maybe they don't like people being able to do like reviews. Like I don't know.
I don't know. I doubt it because Disney, Star Wars in particular, well, Disney really do like Star Wars and Marvel being talked about. It just doesn't make sense why Group Watch has been taken off. If anybody out there has any understanding as to why, please let us know because
Because you can just do that with a friend. You can just like you want to watch a
yeah,
movie together. It's like you can get
yeah,
a friend
and
online. Like, hey, let's watch this.
it's not like you don't already. Everybody in the group doesn't already have, you know, Disney Plus. It's not
Right.
like they're giving it away to somebody to watch something that they're not connected to. You have to be connected to Disney Plus to even do the group watch. So
Right.
I don't know. It's weird. So I mean, it does make it tougher when we have to sync up everything because we're going to be sitting there pressing play at the exact same moment. So hopefully that will
It's going to make
change.
it really difficult, and everybody's internet runs. Things will just go slightly different. So if you get a
Yeah.
couple seconds off, then it's going to make it hard to like
Hey,
react.
Anthony. Sorry.
It's
Yeah.
going to
No,
make it hard to
I agree.
react and know where
Yeah.
everybody's at. It's going to just make it difficult.
Sure. Yeah. For Ri and Soka, very intriguing on the planet. Prettier, I've nicknamed it Castle Dracula. That's funny. That's kind of cool due to its gothic tendencies. Dead Zephyro, Sith World included. Okay, so yeah. All right. So Zephyro. Okay, so Elijah, you probably don't know what that name means specifically. I know
I
very
don't.
little because I'm not part of it. I don't read the books, but I've been kind of following up a little bit on it. There
This
is
is from the
some.
novels.
It's from the books, yeah, from the books, and I think even possibly the comics, mostly the novels. The Zephyro were a race of alien creatures that ended up by an ancient race, I believe, and I believe they are connected with the Force in some way or whatever. But a lot of the imagery and even some of the language in the home world of the Night Sister temples has got some of been depicted as being Zephyro in design.
Hmm.
So it's kind of interesting. We even saw it even in the opening episode of Ahsoka. The old temple apparently had some Zephyro connections. So it's an ancient dead race as far as I'm aware. But then we also saw a design in the Bad Batch. I think you saw the episode with us. It was the one with the weird long neck kind of shape, and it had this weird head. It was a robot that the Bad Batch kind of awoke an old robot, and that was very Zephyro in design, apparently.
Huh.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Chris. Yes, Fallen Order video game. Thank you. There you go. So it is video game related more so than book, but it's interesting that it's been bled into the feelers of it all. And I'm not as familiar about the Zephyros specifically about what they were. I think they were enemies of the Jedi, or were they something different? If anyone out there has an idea, let us know
Is
on
this
that one.
comic book
Yeah,
as well? I mean, is
I'm
there
not too
imagery
sure.
for these, or this is only novel? I mean, that's kind of I guess that would be like
There,
a distinction for me if it was.
yeah, there is imagery and stuff like that. Hang on a second. Let's see if we can find some images here. Zephyro. Let's see what it brings up there. Images. Um, 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 okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. All right, so the Zephyro. Let me bring up this image. Yeah, this will take a second. Yeah. But I guess we're jumping right into Ahsoka at this point.
Oh, I mean, we're just already talking about
I
it.
guess so. Yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. So Anthony's got here. Okay, between the Zephyr merch that was discovered in the Bad Batch, the Merc, sorry, the Merc mercenary and stuff like that, and the ruins on the Night Sisters fortress. It seems that Dave Filoni is and his team are planning for this time. Yeah, what time period were the Zephyr actually um, in? Because uh, I'm not too sure which time period they actually were connected to. Oops, hang on a second. Nope, that image. There is a thing with when you pull down images now, and it comes as a WEBP file instead, and you can't actually pull them into anything. It's so annoying. Okay, here we go.
Oh, dragging the image into the.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is a Zephyro. The shape of the head is distinct within its race and stuff like that.
Oh,
So,
look at this guy.
again, something new, something alien kind of thing. Um, yeah, the episode itself was a really good episode. So, all right, so let's just talk about just a couple of minutes of news first. First, Loki season 2 is actually. I mean, we know it's coming out October 6th, but we just discovered this week that it's also going to be released at 6 p.m. as well. So it's interesting. It's like Disney kind of just woke up to the fact that if we release and drop our shows earlier, we might
Mm,
get more viewership on the opening day of its release. And
much better. Like I
yeah,
didn't understand the midnight. Oh, it's a next day. It's a it's available on.
I think yeah. No, I
I
think
don't
they were.
know.
Yeah, I think
It's
they were
weird.
trying to accommodate for world clocks and stuff like that for people around the world to have a better chance. But it ends up that America ended up by being like on the West Coast it was like 12 a.m. and East Coast it was like 3 a.m. It was just ridiculous kind of time. But yeah, I mean for you guys it's really good. It's a great time. Unfortunately, 6 p.m. for us is still a little bit earlier. So some of us are still at work, or it's hard to
That I
navigate
mean,
around
I
work and
guess.
stuff like that. But I'm still happy it's earlier.
Yeah, if it could be 9 for everybody at like just
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but 6 is better
yeah,
than not because even if you're late to it, then you could still do it
sure.
as soon as you're
Yeah,
available
yeah,
instead of waiting for midnight because it's like
yeah,
midnight's rough.
yeah. Other than that, I mean, I didn't pick up much news in the last week that was interesting to kind of newsworthy talking about kind of thing. It was kind of a quiet news week, nothing that piqued my interest at least. Um, But yeah, so Ahsoka, let's talk about it for a bit. We got a couple of new character posters. We got the Night Witches, the Night Mothers, my mistake, which are very cool. We got Ezra Bridger, and
Uh,
we got. Hang on a sec. I thought we had a few more posters there. That's weird. Nope. I thought they'd put up more character posters, but anyway. All right. Yeah. Um, and oh, there was one for Enox, which was kind of a cool character. Let's talk about this guy for a little bit
yeah, that's
because
interesting.
he's like a
Can you
brand
put
new
that back up?
character. Yeah.
I just I didn't get it. You know, I've been wanting to stare at the face because I'm just
Oh
trying to
yeah.
like the eyes and the nose. Like,
Uh huh.
what else? What could that be a reference to? You know,
I mean,
uh,
it's really
uh,
Roman kind of
and
design
the
and
placement of it inside
Greek
the
and
mask
Roman.
is kind of interesting too.
Yeah,
Right.
it's interesting that there is this interesting kind of blend between what Dave Filoni's doing with cultures and races here. Obviously, Ahsoka is based around the Lord of the Rings kind of theme, kind of element, but then we've also got Grand Admiral Thrawn, and they're really pushing this Romanesque kind of style of form with him. So it's kind of interesting that they'd pick this kind of character. I have no idea what this character is about. I want to know his background. There is one thing I did notice, and if you listen to the voice, uh, in the Star Wars Rebels series in the last season, they bring in a character from the book of originally from Heir to the Empire called Rook, and Rook is this weird gray creature and the voice is actually played by Warwick Davis, who was Wicket the
Oh,
Ewok. So it had this very British kind of voice, but they kind of roughed it up a lot. And it's got this very kind of gargled sound in the back of its throat. And this character's voice has got the same kind of a gargly kind of sound when it speaks. And so I'm like, I wonder if they just tried was they kind of killed Rook off in the Rebels series. So I'm wondering if they're just trying to replace a like Grand Admiral Thrawn's
like,
first
yeah,
command
yeah, yeah, yeah.
with something similar and be faceless. It's just it's an interesting choice. I want to see a bit like Captain Phasma from the sequels.
This
I'm
is even
hope.
more bold.
Mm,
Just the nose and eyes just
yeah.
is a bolder than like a color change or like
Right.
it's a drastic design
Hmm.
that I can't think of one other thing in Star Wars that would be similar to like that.
Yeah, I mean, it is very Earth-like in its form. With, but you can see the gold kind of cracking through the helmet there and everything. So
Right.
obviously, this guy's like I mean, I assume. Well, let's jump into the stormtroopers. These guys look amazing. These pieces of broken up costume. I'm not too sure whether these costume pieces are original costumes that were broken and rebuilt and designed, or whether they were just built from scratch here.
Did
Um,
you put the picture
I
of Eddie Van Halen's guitar in there? I'm telling you, there's a connection.
you think you say that I don't have that image, but that's
Oh my
fine.
gosh. You
You'll
guys,
take it.
you know, comments. You
Uh-huh.
guys know what I'm talking about. It looks
Yeah.
like Eddie Van
Uh-huh.
Halen's guitar. I'm just
All
saying.
right. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we've seen the full story about these night troopers. There's a lot of talk online that these are undead, or these are dead warriors who were once part of Grand Admiral Thrawn's crew, and they've been resurrected from the Night Sisters. And the main reason, or the Night Mothers, the main reason I say that is if you
Oh,
look in Star Wars Rebels, there's an episode, well, a lot of the episodes
so
that are
these are like
connected and
zombies,
Clone Wars.
basically.
Well, possibly, yeah. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be called zombies. I don't know what they're going to call them exactly. But if you look at the red fabric around the background there, this is actually from one of the Night Sister temples from Star Wars Rebels. And this is Ezra in the foreground. And you can see there's a lot of red cloth wrapped around stuff. So there's a definite similarity of something connected to the Night Mothers there, obviously.
Chris
So
saying there is an Eddie
mm,
Trooper. Does that mean there's an Eddie Van Halen Trooper,
it,
or is that you're
oh,
saying that?
yeah,
Am I
there's
right?
I have no
And you're
idea.
saying that I'm right with Eddie Van Halen guitar, like in the connection to this.
Okay, all right. I got to find this because yeah. Okay, like give me a second. I'll find the guitar.
I'm just saying it's
Right.
it's it's very close. There's more, it's less red and more white or whatever, but
Uh
it's
huh.
definitely got that. Anytime anyone sees any of those type of like stripes and combinations, it's a connection to
Right.
Eddie Van
Oh
Halen's
really?
guitar. It's
Okay.
been used in other
Okay.
things, like other people have interpreted the same thing, maybe in different color patterns or whatever, but like essentially that's been used a lot in other things, referring to him
Gotcha.
or his
Okay.
guitar.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
That's whoever designed it likes Eddie Van Halen.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Hang on. Wait. We're gonna pull up the image.
I'm gonna say that's with almost 90%.
Oop. You're lagging there a little bit, Elijah. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna bring up
I'm
Eddie
saying
Van Halen's
I'm
guitar
90%
and
sure
see.
that this is somewhat of inspiration.
Really? Really? You think
Yeah,
so?
totally.
Okay.
There's different
Fair
versions.
enough.
That
Fair
that
enough.
that looks like a buy you buy a. It's not his guitar. That seems like a
Okay.
copy version or whatever.
All
But
right. It's a stretch, but okay. Fair enough.
no, I'm serious.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Um. Anyway, these night troopers, as they're
Eddie
called,
Troopers.
Eddie troopers. Okay,
They're
fine.
they're
Eddie
called Eddie
troopers.
Trooper now.
Well, you can call them Eddie troopers. I'll call them what they're called in the episode. Night troopers. Again, attached with the gold. I can't pronounce the damn name. The Japanese buta.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. The
yeah.
samurai guys.
So yeah, where they put broken bowls back together. Obviously, there's a connection here eventually to the future of Kylo Ren too, because Kylo Ren does that whole break in his helmet by Episode 2 and forging it back together in Episode 3 and Kabuki. Thank you, that's the one. But yeah, I mean, I they are Dave Filoni's very conscious of trying to feed in little narratives to the sequels, which I give him respect for. It doesn't mean that I enjoy or less enjoy the sequels of any sort. It just means that there's this thread between them that they are trying to at least feed through the Mandoverse into the
Right.
sequels. We got a lot of that connection between the prequels to the original trilogy just through the Clone Wars animated series and Star Wars Rebels. So it makes sense that the live action stuff will try to do this 30-year jump gap of little pieces at a time, and hopefully not be too far in their face. What else we got? Grand Admiral Thrawn. We see his Star Destroyer. We see the Chimera, which is the name of his Star Destroyer, and
That
they,
the yeah the and it landing above the platform,
yeah,
like that was a pretty cool sequence. That was pretty dope. Like
yeah,
it's like basically a docking bay or
oh
whatever
yeah,
that platform is. It just
yeah.
like lowers straight on it.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
mean,
cool.
it's just to show the grand scale of his. Like, very rarely do you ever see the Star Destroyer this low in orbit. His Star Destroyer has always gone into orbit whenever I've seen it. In Rebels, it came really close into everybody's orbit. I don't know if every Star Destroyer is designed to go into orbit that often, but it's a menacing kind of design. It's got the underbelly design shape and pattern, which is really cool. Yeah, no, Thrawn, I was very well done. Lars Nicholson, Nicholson, yeah, yeah. His brother was in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Oh, okay, that's why that's
Yeah,
kind of like.
yeah. Oh yes, yeah,
I mean, they look similar,
yeah.
not
Oh
familiar,
yeah,
similar.
yeah. But they're brothers. Um, but just to see him from animation to live action, I think he worked really well. What are your thoughts on him, Elijah?
No, the design, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen imagery of him before, or whatever. I'm familiar with that character.
Sure. Yeah.
So the design in the show looks great.
Right.
It whatever. It's believable. I buy it. So I think it's good look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, most of the Star Wars, I can't think of a bad costume or something that doesn't look good
No.
in any of these TV shows, any of
Yeah.
the series really.
Yeah.
Star Wars are really good with that, with not having something look too ridiculous or whatever. So
Yeah, I think out of all the design stuff, along with the, you can sit and sometimes question certain designs of architecture and stuff like that and go, that's kind of weird or whatever. But the costume design, I don't think I've seen anything that's really out of place
right,
for me. I've always enjoyed the costume stuff, and Grand Admiral Thrawn's look and appearance is
yeah,
has been standard all the way through since the Heir to the Empire books. I mean,
right,
he originally popped up in Heir to the Empire, and I read that book. What was it, 91? I think it was. Or was it 93? I think it was 91. And yes, I actually did read this book, this trilogy, and very much from day one highly resonated and connected with Grand Admiral Thrawn because he's the art collector. He is the one who will collect a culture's art, study it, and defeat his enemy by studying their art from maybe 1,000 years ago about how they survived and won and lost battles,
right.
and he would actually use that as a tactic, and that was always really a cool thing. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get to see. I mean, we're already starting to see it. He's already trying to dissect the information on Ahsoka. He asks Esbeth Morgan, tell me everything about Ahsoka Tano, her history, her life, her master. And with that being said, one of the books in the more recent revamped canon edition of Grand Admiral Thrawn, it turns out that he has crossed paths with Anakin Skywalker before in the Clone Wars. So it'll be interesting to see how Grand Admiral Thrawn deals with that. I also believe that Grand Admiral Thrawn in the books pieced together Anakin Skywalker was Darth Vader. And that's the kind of tactician that he is. He's able to get information, think about it. So that could be a very powerful thread into defeating Ahsoka, at least intellectual wise. So. And I know if Jason was here, he'd say that if you put a Jedi up against Grand Admiral Thrawn, he'd be down in about 10 seconds. But Grand Admiral Thrawn's intellect and mental capacity is he uses his voice, his mouth as his weapon. So I think there's ways of actually
You
stopping a
could check.
Jedi in their tracks
All right.
before they would splice him down for one purpose or
It's
another.
so convincing in whatever he's saying that they
Mm-hmm.
question even like should I
Sure.
even
Yeah.
I do believe this guy. He's like yeah, a con
Yeah.
man or whatever. You like don't know if you should
Right.
believe him or not.
Yeah,
He's just
that's it. Yeah.
like I could strike you down, but like I
Yeah.
just don't know 100%. Like because you're making it too vague or whatever.
But here's the other thing. There's also a sense of honor in what he says. I mean, he did let Sabine Wren go. And for nothing more than just simply like, I'm going to honor that bargain you made with Balin. You bought everything to me. It was Sabine's fault that this motion of events took place. It's also interesting that Sabine Wren is also this kind of unforeseen element by the Night Witches, and that makes it even more interesting. Sabine Wren was not part of their equation, and because of that, she's this divergence in the Force in this particular story arc. So I don't know how they're going to pay that off and how they're going to play that arc as part of the story. But I think the key to defeating Grand Admiral Thrawn might be through Sabine, even though she screwed up and made a mistake and well chose her gut
Right.
over her master kind of thing. So I don't know. It's been an interesting kind of arc for Sabine Wren. She is a
Yeah.
very different character than what we knew her to be in the Rebels characters, and she's similar the same way because she's very stubborn as a character, but she is a very different character. And I mean, I'm still not entirely convinced that the Force is like I'm trying to understand what part of the Force she's trying to unlock because I don't think she's got very many skills outside of just skills of a combat of a lightsaber at this point. So obviously, she doesn't have any physical attributes like moving objects in the air and stuff like that. And I don't even know if she'll ever develop them. Maybe something else will unlock that. We don't know yet. I guess.
Yeah, it's got to be something that she's just not
Yeah.
whatever. She's either not comfortable. She
Yeah.
wants to. She's so confident. She's whatever. She
Yeah.
wants to do it her way, but doesn't
Hmm.
realize she needs training or whatever. That type of something there.
Yeah. Yeah.
She needs to find herself.
No, totally. Let's jump back to the beginning of the episode for just a little bit. We had this amazing shot of
Yeah, that
hyperspace
was cool. That was a cool
with
shot.
the yeah with the Purgle and everything. That was it was just I'm continually impressed with the visuals in this series. You know what? I'm continually impressed with the visuals in the Star Wars television verse in general. I no longer feel like I'm in the stage every scene in the volume stage
Yeah,
every scene.
yeah,
I feel like they've opened up the world a little bit. It feels like they're doing a little bit more blue screen to enhance the backgrounds a lot more, so you don't feel isolated. And they've gone back to using the volume as a tool, not a necessity. Um, Hello there, Ghostfaced. How's it going? But yeah, um, so to continue seeing visuals like this, I'm continually impressed on how cool this is, and how like the Purgle in animated form kind of looked a little silly and a little goofy, and they work so well in live action here. The opening monologue here with Hugh Yang and Ahsoka, it's the only time we got to see her in the whole episode, which I was fine with because I wanted to know what was going on with Sabine and Balon and all those
yeah.
characters. But the Hugh Yang is 25,000 years old droid. He's got stories. I want to know those stories. I want to see someone release a book or a novel or a
Oh,
comic or
okay, okay,
something on
okay.
Hugh Yang's adventures, because I want to see him at the beginning of the Dawn of the Jedi. I want to see him way back in whatever story they take the prequels to. Beyond before the prequels to. Um, any
So he's
thoughts?
like a long history. He's got all. He knows
Yeah.
everything.
He knows every. Well, I mean, he's the lightsaber builder of the actual. He's the lightsaber builder of all the Padawans that have come
Oh, okay.
for the last 25,000 years. So we saw him pop up in Star Wars Rebels. We saw this whole idea that he exists on a ship that was lightsaber building. We don't know what happened to his ship. We don't know what happened to all of his products. But uh, I'm enjoying this character. I'm enjoying David Tennant as voicing this character. I think he's an incredible voice actor as well as an amazing actor. But I'm hoping Hugh Yang will stick around for quite some time. I
Yeah.
don't think they're ready to kick the bucket off him. He's been around for 25,000 years. I'm pretty sure, and with 75% of his still original parts, I'm pretty sure that we are going to see
Keep
him
him
pop.
around. You see him around.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see him pop up with, in if they do the future film with Ray, or when they do that future film, and see him pop up there. I think it'd be kind of fun to see him be around. Hopefully, he doesn't get destroyed between now and then, but we'll see.
We're talking about your Jim Henson connection.
Oh yeah, okay. So guys, all right. We discover Ezra. We find Ezra. I swear he looks like Jesus the second almost.
Yeah, I when you showed me this poster, I'm like, he just looks like
Yeah,
Moses or Samson
yeah,
or
yeah.
some
That's it. Yeah,
biblical
that's it.
character. Like
Oh no,
this
there's a totally biblical. Absolutely.
for sure, but like almost too. It just looks like the
Yeah,
Bible, the movie. Like here's the
yeah.
character poster. This is Joseph.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other thing about Ezra was that in the animated show, you actually see hollow images of his parents, and he looks just
Oh,
like
okay, okay.
his father. Like there's this look that they've kept, which I think is kind of cool. Obviously, genetics and stuff like that, but the father character of Ezra Bridgers is really very close to the look and the style. You can also see he's got the two scars. In the first season of Star Wars Rebels, he was attacked by the Grand Inquisitor, who we saw in Kenobi, and he got hit across the face and ended up with this lightsaber scar across his face. So we actually get a good shot of that
Oh, he's
scar.
got the scar on his
Yeah,
face.
yeah, yeah. It's interesting that
Oh.
yeah, it's like it burnt, but it's seared two actual little marks in the side of him. Um, Pulse come
PulseCon, you see
announcements.
that online? It's
No, I
like
haven't.
a online con with this Hasbro Pulse doing a bunch of announcements.
Oh, really? Oh, there was
Yeah,
some announcements this week. Yes. Oh,
coming
yes,
up.
because they. Oh, I haven't pulled the image. They've actually made Captain Rex's helmet, which for next year release. Yeah.
Oh man, you're gonna have
Yeah, I
a
know. I got.
helmet collection.
Yes.
Wow.
I can't afford it. There's some other things. Actually, the other thing they did release, I did pull the image of this one, which is Sabine Wren's lightsaber, as well, which is going to be kind of cool. They've got some other figures and stuff like that, which is cool. I haven't been collecting any of the 6-inch figures. It's all been Hot Toys, but which is cool. So sorry, going back to your question, Elijah, we semi-detoured again. So Ezra Bridger obviously has made a connection with these little creatures here,
Ninja
and
Turtles.
yeah, and actually this came from another online guy, Kyle
I love that
Katarn.
he's got shirts and sleeves that
Yeah,
he would never be able to get his little crab arms through, like his
sure.
little tiny little jacket.
Unless it comes off, I don't know. But these guys, they look like Muppets. Sabine's pet Woofy, the Howler Wolf. I don't think I pulled an image of it there. But the Howler Wolf looks like a Jim Henson creation. And one of the other guys on one of their channels reacted to the episode and said, "This feels like a Jim Henson style world." And he said that it just feels like that other characters in the Jim Henson world could live in this galaxy. And I was like, oh my god, yeah,
I see
he's
that.
right.
I can feel that.
Paying homage. If you look at everything that is Jim Henson in the, it's very dark. Like the Dark Crystal's got this
Dark
very dark,
Crystal,
bleak looking
Labyrinth,
design.
those little
Yeah,
creatures in Labyrinth.
yeah, you've got
Yeah,
these elements of darkness. Even other Jim Henson shows, movies like The
yeah,
Witches
witches.
and The Storyteller, have got these very dark looking realm. And it's like, could this galaxy be the Jim Henson galaxy? I don't think we're going to see beyond too much of this galaxy before we come back to the current galaxy. It doesn't seem like there's anything worth investing. All we know is that the Night Mothers have, you know, created
Any
this
properties
dead world.
that Disney owns is
Mm-hmm.
the multiple galaxies.
Yeah, no,
So you can go to
exactly.
Jim
Yeah.
Henson verse.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
there'll be a Jim Henson Earth where like Muppets and actually walk
Sure.
around and talk to people and like it's a
Yeah.
Muppet
Yeah.
world.
Well, maybe. I mean, the reality is, it's like they're paying homage to. Oh yeah, a whole bunch of Fraggles, obviously, but
Fraggles.
they're definitely paying homage to Jim Henson, because Jim Henson had a huge tie with Lucasfilm and
No, I
George
get that. I
Lucas,
get that,
obviously,
and
over the years. Yeah.
that I could see that at least the feel of it, like
Yeah.
totally. Those little
Yeah.
creatures, the little rocks or whatever. Those, you
Yeah.
know, you kind of knew that was coming or whatever. But it's very Jim Henson
Oh,
ish.
totally, totally. And I'm actually fine with that, because it depicts what this galaxy is like, or what I could imagine this galaxy to be like. We're not going to get aliens with rubber masks. We're going to get little creatures that are, like the goofy wolfhound that's got its tongue hanging out and kind of smiling, and it's like, okay, that thing was cute. Like, it started off looking ugly, but it became this cute element. So, I mean, I definitely am fine with that. We probably will never see this galaxy too much more after they come back. I don't think there's any reason to revisit this particular galaxy. It just happens to be the galaxy that Thrawn and Ezra got flung into. But that was the other thing I wanted to take note. I thought was great, was that the idea that this is where the Purgle whales come to die,
Oh right, the
and
ring of
the
around the
ring of their
planet.
bones and dust, a whale's graveyard. It goes back to the old, what's it called, Tarzan stories of the elephant's graveyard and stuff like that, and beyond that. But then a whale's graveyard is a kind of a cool kind of thing. So, but anyway, is this the first Elijah only on podcast? I think we've done a couple
No, a few
before.
times before.
Everybody else, or
It's not as
Jason's,
lively because we don't got four people calling
yeah,
in.
yeah. Jason is, yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, Jason's kind of got family stuff, and Max is working today. So
Next week I'll be
Robert
at a
Tim and
wedding,
T. Okay,
so
fair enough. All right, so it might be just me. I don't know.
it might be just Brent.
It might be just me. Then I'll bring some people on or something. But yeah, there's been kind of, oh, and then let's just one last quick thing. We got a lot of information between Shin and Balon. Uh, kind of well, we got information, but we didn't really get information. They keep on Dave Filoni is continuously leading us on that Balon is looking for something greater in this world, and something is calling for him in this galaxy. I don't know what that could be. I assume it's going to be connected to the world between worlds. People are trying to predict that he's going to end up by trying to find a way into this world between worlds and try to alter things and make things better. I don't think so. It's not what the world between worlds is designed for, which is where we saw Ahsoka with Anakin Skywalker last week. But yeah, we know Chris. Chris has got the hots for Shin. We get it. We get it, Chris. But I don't know. Have you got any thoughts or guesses as to where this arc is going
No,
with
I have no
Balon?
clue. I mean, like with this stuff, because I don't even really know the characters. So like,
Right. Well,
I'm
neither
kind of
do
happy
I.
just seeing where
These
the
are new too. Yeah.
yeah. I'm just kind of happy seeing where
Sure.
it's going. Like, I don't
Yeah.
really want to predict anything because
Yeah.
I'm just kind of happy like letting the story surprise me, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's going to be one
But
of
they're cool
the.
characters. I mean, they're nice. They're
Yeah. Oh
cool bad
yeah.
guys. The pair of them or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's like it's oh my god, it's heartbreaking that Ray Stevenson passed away in this past year. Because this character was made for him, and I get the feeling that they don't have plans to kill him off if they continue this
Yeah, they're
into
gonna end
season
it on
two.
something where it's just gonna be
Yeah,
like they can't use them again because
they
it's gonna
they
be like have to be
yeah,
open ended or something.
and
We just
I. But it's also not like Lucasfilm to kind of recast somebody's. Well, I mean, except for the younger Han Solo and younger Lando, but that's a different story. I feel like with this kind of tragedy, they may have to recast him because that character has such an important role going forward in this story arc that feels like it's going somewhere. And just to kill him off means we won't know what that story, because it seems that Shin does not know what his intentions are either. He's acting on
yeah. Do you know if
some sort of
if they
direction.
have you heard of them changing any like did they go back and rechange this
We don't even
refilm anything
we
after his
no.
passing?
I haven't read anything anywhere that has kind of alluded to that, but I also been kind of minimalizing the amount I've been reading on any spoilers. Um,
It's two more episodes.
And it's also too early to tell, because at this point they were getting ready to go into production for Mandalorian season 4, right between when the strike happened. So with that happening, we have no idea when they're going to start picking up on even writing Ahsoka season 2. If there is again a season 2, I'm kind
All
of
right.
guessing there will. I feel like we've got too much going on with the story arc, and there's a build up to this big film that's coming up by Dave Filoni in 2026 or 27, whenever it's going to come out, that is in the Mandoverse, and it feels like that Thrawn has got to be and is going to be a big part of that. So I would be surprised if we do not see a season 2 of this show, but it's not official. We'll know at the end of the season, I'm guessing, whether or not it's beyond the one season, but I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be fun. Any other thoughts that stood out for you on this episode at all, Elijah?
No, I mean it was good. You know, it was fun. I liked it.
Yeah.
I did like the. I mean, what are there? Is there a the planet they're on this new? They're in this new
Mm.
universe and they're coming to this first planet. That's
Yes.
do it. What was there a name for this planet?
There was. Hang on a sec. Oh, wait. Someone even mentioned it before. I forgot the name of the
I mean, all
planet
stuff's
off the
new,
top
so
of my head.
it's a
Yeah.
little confusing if it's out of the Star Wars universe. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's if they
It's
appear into
the
this
Jim Henson
new
universe. Yeah.
yeah, if they just appear to this new galaxy and there's this
Yeah.
this is the first planet they come to, or like why is this the first destination they come to in this?
Why is it? Because it is the homeworld of the Night Witches, and it was the
Okay.
travel direction. Yeah, it was the travel back and forth
The
with the
connection
Purgle.
between the Purgles,
Yes, yeah.
because the Purgles go there and they just die and
Yeah,
their bodies
yeah,
collect in
yeah.
that thing.
See, that also leads to another
So wait a
thing.
minute, why would the Purgles be like floating around the planet of the Night of the Sister which sisters or whatever?
Because that's where they die in space. They don't die on the They don't die on the ground. They just die in orbit. They go there. They either get old or
But
whatever.
circling
Like,
that planet, that is like
right. Well,
kind
yeah,
of
but it's gravity's ring. Gravity of the planet is pulling them the dead Purgle bones in a form. It's yeah. It's a dead world as it was mentioned.
okay.
But I
That makes
think
sense.
the Night Mothers might have had something to do with that too. So we don't know the true story. Oh, let's talk about those coffins. Okay, so
Coffins?
yeah, okay. So in the
Do you remember?
yeah, in our reaction video, we tend to miss things in our reaction video because we're usually
We're,
sometimes
someone's
talking
talking.
over each other and we miss these moments. The reason it's going to take them 3 days to leave on the Chimera on the Eye of Sion to get back to the galaxy is that Grand Admiral Thrawn is loading something from the catacombs of the Night Witches into his ship. I'm going to assume that they are dead ancestral bones of the Night Witches, of the Night Sisters, which means he's going to have an undead army of the most powerful witch warriors you could ever come across that he's going to bring with him. This could very well be his army. They might be something
Interesting.
completely different. We don't know. I mean, if we're going into this whole undead kind of territory in Star Wars, and they've kind of dealt with it before in some little story arcs in Clone Wars and stuff like that. That people can have their minds taken over by creatures and stuff like that. Obviously, we saw that with. There are things that I think it was in Solo. In fact, you saw the creature that kind of gets into the pilot's mind. We actually are going to end up with some sort of undead army. Is my guess, and that's where it's heading towards. But we could be wrong.
An
They
army of
also might be something
darkness.
totally different. Yeah, actually, they might even be something. I mean, I don't even know. Is there an enemy to the Night Witches? Is the Zephyron actually enemies? Are they sleeping? Are they hibernating? Basically, we see these human-sized coffins being brought into the Chimera in the docking bay of the Star Destroyer, and a lot of them. So it's going to be a huge, huge army, and it will be pretty much unstoppable when he gets back to. I'm going to say our galaxy, but it's the Star Wars galaxy, I should say. So that's going to be interesting too. Okay, wait, what are you putting up here? Anchorman? Okay, so Anchorman says, I wonder what would happen if Ezra joined Maul and left Kanan and Sabine possessed by Night Sister in the cave. Okay, so in Star Wars Rebels, there was a situation where Darth Maul was trying to get Ezra to become his apprentice, and Kanan and Sabine Wren both were sacrificed for a period of time by Night Sister magic, and they were possessed by dead Night Sisters into their bodies. Kanan obviously had died, but Sabine may have some sort of connection to the Night Sisters. Still, there might be this weird. I don't know. It's maybe there isn't, but it seemed like the Night Sisters really opposed to Jedi, and they detected that. So they obviously, I don't know. I feel like there's something could be in there too. We don't know yet. So we'll
Hmm.
see. We'll see. But anyway, yeah. Apart from that, guys, I mean, as I said, relatively short one today. We're down a few people to give their opinions and stuff like that. But yeah, everybody out there in the chat, thanks for joining us. Basically, we have got 2 episodes left, and I feel like once we get through these next 2 weeks, I want to start pulling a few people on just to get their opinion of the whole series, and kind of
No, we should do that
we'll
for the
do a
last,
thing.
right after the
Yeah,
last episode or whatever,
yeah,
whenever
yeah,
that would
yeah,
be. That
yeah.
that Sunday after the last episode.
Probably, yeah. Maybe that or the week after. But I definitely, because a lot of you have shown interest that you want to come on, stuff like that. I've kept it
Anchorman's going to
minimal.
come on and talk about his
Maybe.
girlfriend. Um,
What?
he keeps mentioning her, Jenna
Oh, okay.
Ortega.
Oh, Jenna Ortega. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That
he
girlfriend.
likes her.
Okay. Okay. That's cool.
Like 3 messages today. He's like,
She's,
oh, by the way, she's cute.
that's cool. Yeah,
Okay.
she's cool. She's a good actress too. Anyway, guys. Yes, thanks for joining us out there in chat. We will be back next Sunday. Well, some of us will be back next Sunday. And we will be talking on. Oh, hang on a second, Chris. Sorry. Yes, I haven't checked the Twitter. Hang on a second. Chris sent me something on Twitter there.
Oh,
That let me quickly check and see. Okay. Uh, all right. Okay. What do we got? All right. Why is it not showing? No. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Oh, that's funny. Hang on a second. I'm gonna pull this image off. Um, okay. All right. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull up this. This is like I'm incredibly amazed at how quickly, and I'm so really quickly, people have been pulling. Actually, this is more for you as well. I think. There you go. Is
see?
that looking more like your guitar?
I mean, take away like
Okay.
60% of that red of the red, and
I
then
don't
you
know
got
about
your
that. Look at
stormtrooper.
that. No, look at that. That's actually pretty close.
No, no, yeah, that and that.
Yeah.
Yes, that is someone taking an Eddie Van Halen and putting it into a stormtrooper. But
Yeah.
that's not too far away from what we're looking at.
Fair enough.
It's less
Fair enough. That's
red.
cool. Anyway, guys, thank you
I'm
for
right.
joining us. And yeah, okay, fine. You're right,
I'm
Elijah.
right. No,
Okay,
I'm
guys. Well,
right.
thank you so much. Thanks, Elijah, for joining us. And we shall be doing another live, we'll do another reaction video this week for Ahsoka episode 7. Oh my God, we're almost at the end of the show. Thanks, everybody. Catch you all
Then
later.
we get Loki after that.
Yes.